Bangkok to Muan was carrying 175 passengers and 6 crew members when it collided with the structures at the end of the runway. The company has said that it has activated company-wide emergency protocols and established a dedicated team to support bereaved families. This is very unfortunate and tragic news that we are tracking at this point. Viewers, the website is providing emergency contact numbers and stating that Jeju Air will do everything possible regarding this incident. All right, Major General Sudhakar ji is joining me live on the broadcast. Sir, appreciate you joining me at this point of time where the details that in fact we are fetching are very scary, and this is unfortunately in the light of the airplane crashes that have been mounting in the recent times, one of the worst that has in fact emerged. The frantic search for survivors is on, while there has been a website that has been dedicatedly established to connect the bereaved families with in fact the victims. In this view, in fact, what is being said is that the malfunction of the landing gear is suspected to be the key reason. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Simran, good morning. Thank you for getting me to your show. From the visuals which are being telecast by NewsX, it is, I think, fair to assume that the aircraft did not take off. It was a kind of a landing gear, did not gain, actually enable the aircraft to gain height, and as a result, it has gone and rammed into the fencing on the periphery. And that's how it has happened this way. It is very unfortunate, and our heart reaches out to those families of those bereaved passengers, and our deep condolences for those who have passed away, and keep our fingers crossed. Yes, you are right. This is one of the most scariest, I would say, kind of a air crash which has taken place on the tarmac itself, and not flying more like it happened with Azerbaijan aircraft, which we suspected that some external agent or factor would have actually hit the aircraft, which is gradually coming true, but then it is too premature. So I would give a chance to the investigation, the civil aviation investigation, to go into all the nitty-gritties, take time, join the dots, and particularly the cockpit mechanism which every aircraft has got, to talk about the data track recorder or talk about the voice recorder. You see, one communication means of system of having some data. The other one is the data recorder. The dots have to be joined, and some kind of a conclusion has to come out. And Amal, you're right also. Last point that you made in your narrative is that these are mounting by the day.
Exactly.
The civil aviation at the highest level in the global order must look into these aspects. The bigger issue and the challenge is how to prevent the recurrence of these kind of things. Back to you, Simran.
Well, Major General Sudhakar ji, while in fact we are talking about what has happened and how tragic it sounds, the plane listed was in fact Boeing 737-800. And it also raises a lot of question on in fact the aircrafts that are designed to be also in the times of the crisis be equipped enough to save as many lives as possible. So it very importantly also puts the emphasis on how was the efficiency in such the kind of an incident that has happened, while there is the mass death of nearly 60 people that is being reported at this point of time. These are like 60 families that are grieving at this point of time because of a malfunction.
Simran, this is a tragic incident the world over, I would say, that you see mishap taking place, although it is not acceptable when the aircraft is airborne and in the process of landing or otherwise, is a different kind of a story than not being able to take off in earnest on the tarmac in the airfield itself. So from the visual, one can see that it is not taken off. It is simply gone to the extreme edge of the tarmac and rammed into the fencing or the boundary wall, and that's a burst into flames. So I understand the orientation of your question is pointing towards the safety factor of the maker of the Boeing aircraft. So isn't the accountability and responsibility that of the whoever is making this particular aircraft? Yes, it does. They have a lot of questions to answer and also pinpoint the responsibility for the sake of accountability. But that is not the solution. Solution as of now is to get retrieve the mortal remains of the passengers who passed away, make maximum passengers, extricate them from the accident site, take them to the nearest hospital, make sure that maximum number of people survive and medical care is provided. And also there will be people in a lot of traumatic cases. They also need to be subjected to a kind of a befitting medical treatment. And above all, like we divide everything into a short, medium, and long term, I would urge the Civil Aviation Authority and particularly the Boeing industry, maybe it is one of its kind in the time frame that we are talking. However, one is big enough for the Boeing industry to look into the aspect because it is a technical failure. The aircraft has not taken off. So how can a thing like this, with a notable number one MNC in the world, which is manufacturing aircrafts of the standards of Boeing and Boeing itself, how is it possible that the takeoff gear did not function? So that is what the moot question is, and why did there is a checking team which comes, inspection team, before the aircraft is handed over to the pilot. They carry out the inspection. Did they fail in the particular thing? Didn't they check the very aspect of takeoff mechanism? Was it in order? So these are the aspects one has to actually investigate and find out a long-term solution so that such kind of mishaps can be avoided in future. Back to you, Simran.